There's a secret Easter Island's been holding. A mystery deeper than stoneheads or lost legends. One hidden not just in the land, but in the name itself. What if the real secret of Easter Island isn't above ground, but beneath your feet, and hidden inside the language itself? Because long before it was named Easter Island, the original people, the Rapa Nui, had a different name for it, Tepito or Tehenua. It means the navel of the world. Not metaphorically, not poetically, literally. They believed this island was the umbilical cord between the earth and its source, a center point where energy, memory, and meaning converge. And the deeper you go, the more that claim makes sense. You see, in the ancient Polynesian tongue, T means the, a divine marker, a designation of cosmic authority. Pito means navel, but it also means origin, the life cord, the axis where vitality flows. Henua means the land, but it carries more than soil and rock. It means Mother Earth, the womb. So when they called this place Tepito or Tehenua, they weren't speaking in riddles. They were saying, this is the navel of the earth womb, a portal where spirit and matter intertwine, a living intersection between dimensions. And this idea isn't unique to Polynesia. All around the ancient world, in cultures separated by oceans and time, we find this same belief, that the earth has navels, sacred centers where the divine touches down. In Greece, it was the omphalos stone at Delphi, the center of the world, where the god Apollo was said to descend. In India, yogic traditions mark the Bindu point, the navel of the subtle body where consciousness begins. In Andean cosmology, Lake Titicaca was called the birthplace of the Inca, the navel of the ancestors. In Yoruba tradition, Ile-Ife was believed to be the very first land, a spiritual umbilicus for all humanity. And in Rapa Nui, the pattern echoes again. Same idea, same grid, different tongue. But now, ask yourself, why here? Why would one of Earth's power centers exist on this isolated island thousands of miles from the nearest continent? That's where the geometry speaks. Because Easter Island isn't random. It's not just sitting in the Pacific by coincidence. It falls directly along the same harmonic alignment as Giza, Nazca, and Angkor Wat, a massive energetic axis cutting across ancient civilizations. No distortion, no illusion, just resonance. A part of what's now called the ancient Earth grid, a global network of sacred sites that align with mathematical precision modern science still can't fully explain. These weren't just holy places, they were energy nodes, frequency ports, memory anchors, and Easter Island was one of them. Now travel to the northern edge of the island, past Anakina Beach, and you'll find a strange artifact, a smooth magnetic boulder, perfectly round. Locals call it Tepito Kura, the golden navel. Some say it was brought by the first king, Hotu Matua, from a homeland now lost beneath the sea. Tourists report their compasses malfunctioning near it. Others say they feel warmth or subtle vibrations when they touch it. But for the Rapa Nui, this wasn't just folklore. This stone was sacred. To them, it was the literal umbilicus of the earth, a capacitor of energy, a memory device buried in plain sight. And this concept isn't unique either. In Delphi, Egypt, Mecca, even beneath the Hebrew Ark of the Covenant, we find similar foundation stones said to mark Earth's center. The same pattern, the same blueprint, the same technology, if you dare to call it that. Now let's revisit those massive Moai statues, the iconic stone heads that brought the world's attention to this island. Many believe the Moai only face inland, but a few of them actually face outward. The statues facing inward weren't just placed to defend from outside invaders, but to watch over the land, the people, the energy within. And the rare statues that do gaze outward, particularly those along volcanic slopes and coastal ridges. Some align with celestial patterns, others face the ocean, not as guards, but as memory keepers. A few even point directly toward the Tepito Kura stone, and others match star positions in the night sky. So what were these statues really doing? They weren't just memorials, they were machines, possibly designed to stabilize the island's energy field. New archaeological theories propose the Moai acted like resonators, anchoring the magnetic grid. Some even suggest they were conductive structures, connected to geomagnetic pathways. And remember, the heads are just the tip. Most of each Moai is underground, as if rooted like a tree, drawing power from beneath the soil. Transmission, reception, memory storage, not fantasy, design. And this is where the forbidden knowledge begins to echo. Because ancient texts, many removed from modern education, speak of a time when beings descended and altered the earth. The Book of Enoch, preserved outside of most Bibles, describes watchers, advanced entities who came down to earth, landed on mountaintops, and taught humans how to work stone, metals, and celestial codes. It says they built monuments, manipulated energy, even altered DNA. Other ancient scrolls, like the Book of Giants found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, speak of massive beings whose cities were swallowed by water and whose spirits were bound beneath the earth. According to the scrolls, their names would be remembered only by the stones. These weren't myths, they were warnings, encoded in language for later civilizations, and Easter Island may have been one of their final markers. Even the Book of Jubilees, an ancient Hebrew text, declares that the earth was divided into sacred navels by higher forces. Each was a gate to something deeper. Some of those gates, it says, were sealed. Some were left open. The open ones, those became the vibrational tuning forks of the planet, and that tuning is still happening. Now let's bring it full circle, because the Rapa Nui don't claim to have migrated island to island. Their own oral history says they arrived from a land far to the west, a place across a vast ocean, a continent now lost. They say their ancestors came from a land called Mu. Today, most scholars dismiss Mu as a myth, but satellite imagery disagrees. Because if you trace the energy lines that stretch westward from Easter Island, deep into the Pacific, you begin to see something most weren't supposed to see. Straight corridors, symmetrical lines, sunken ridges, grid-like patterns under the sea, some over 100 kilometers wide. This isn't tectonic chaos, it's architecture, and Google Earth doesn't lie. So when the Rapa Nui called this island the navel of the world, they weren't speaking in metaphor, they were mapping memory. This was a power site, an energetic epicenter, a planetary anchor, a place where something, or someone, arrived long ago, and left instructions for those who could still see. Before the world was sliced by borders, before the sky was filled with noise, before memory was forbidden, they were telling us, here is where the earth breathes, here is where the grid speaks, here is where it all began. Welcome to the navel of the world.